Yo, yo, yo. How goes it? How goes it? Welcome aboard Cardboard Sim. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, man. So while things are getting set up, I think we got one or two more people I want to say that is getting loaded in. So it'll be a couple minutes there. Make sure the stream is working good. Okay, so it's not doing too bad out there. Cool. So this flight that we're doing tonight, I pulled this flight off of the World Tour website. I like to go there sometimes when I can't figure out where to fly or what to do. I kind of go there and get some ideas. So I just pulled this flight plan from there, and we're gonna see how it goes. I think all together it's gonna be about an hour and a half flight or so, from what the website was saying. We got my man Dragon here to the left of me in the G36. And then on the other side, you can kind of probably see it. Looks, I think it's AI because he's been stuck there for a while. It looked like one of his landing gears, maybe his left main, probably gave out. So he's kind of doing a low rider two-wheel motion. If he's still there when we taxi out, I'll definitely show you. It's kind of funny. Gotta love that stuff. Oh man, so while we are waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and get cranked up here. Let's see what we got going on here. So pre-flight is complete. Everything for the most part seemed to be working good. We'll find out once we start moving. Seat belts. We don't wear seat belts around here. No, I'm playing. Seat belts are fastened. Yeah, I just don't have none. I actually had to chop them out because the seats are so close to each other. I actually had to rip the seat belts out, which is fine. I'm thinking about maybe. No, I'm not. It's not that serious. I had thought about maybe adding, a real seat belt, and hooking it in and then bringing it over. But once again, like I said, I chopped the fastener parts off. So, all right, no packs on board. All avionics is off. Circuit breakers are all in. Landing gears down. Flaps are up. Cowl flaps are in the open position. Let's get the beacon and nav set for when we turn power on. Fuel selector will be on the left. Tank starting out. Hey, plane, how you doing? Nice. Got the 15. That picture looking good. I look sexy, don't I? I know. And we'll go ahead and do alternator and battery. Let's get the pump primed up. Turn that off and crack it. And we have ourselves a good start. Still gotta work that that coding some more, so that I gotta figure out how to override the auto avionics on when the motor turns on. It's a Coronado thing, and I've dug through the config files, but I haven't been able to find it. I know they said something about going through the SDK through Flight Sim, but I always have problems with that. So I've been trying to figure out how to recode it through Air Manager. But everything that I've thrown at it so far, it still can't override Coronado's auto avionics on. It's driving me insane. So I got it set to where I could turn it off and on like I want, but they automatically pop on. So I'm still working on that. You, a bunny, what do you do? Oh man. You streaming tonight, Bunny? Man, you be doing all kind of stuff over there, man. You almost you about to make me want to get a build me a ATS rig set up, because you know you're talking to a real driver here. I mean, I surrendered my L's about 4 or 5 years ago. But I drove for 8 years, so I know them roads, man. Don't let me put 18 on the floor, cause best believe I'll swing a W9 all day. That's my favorite truck. I actually got to drive one. I drove for an owner operator for about 6 months. This guy, I mean, I had to turn that truck in, man, cause that dude, he was all about himself. He had me like, and I was running paper logs, so I was, man. When I'm talking about running, woo, I was doing some running. I thank God DOT never caught a hold of me, cause good God Almighty, boy, I was, it was something else. Like I would literally I would leave from Charlotte, I'll drive all the way up to Ohio, grab a coil, turn and burn, and come right back down to Charlotte. Get like a couple hours nap time, and that's it. Let's get it. But man, there was so many problems with that truck, and every time I try to tell them, like, look, man, I can't be out here doing what I'm doing, and you got me out here sticking out like a sore thumb. DOT can get a hold of me. Like the lights on the trailer, it was because he had some back shop mechanic, man, and this dude had chopped the wires on that trailer so bad, man, so the lights would be flickering at nighttime, and then tank didn't have a cap, so he had it was yeah. But nonetheless, in that 6 months I did drive it. It wasn't an 18, it was a Super 10, but she would pull though. Now the truck that I leased on when I was driving for Swift, I leased on for a year. I had a T660 with a studio sleeper, big body, called her Big Mama, and she was a 9-speed out the door, and I immediately put her in the shop before my first load and put a 13-speed on her, and that made a whole heap of difference when it came to pulling them heavy loads. I don't drive no more. Them days is over. I'm like, I don't want to drive. I conquered a childhood dream. The only thing that I didn't complete, which I wanted to, and I was very close, was I wanted to cover 1 million miles. I think I ended up, in 8 years, I think I ended up doing like 850,000 miles, somewhere around there. So I was short, about a year and a half, or I'll say about a year and a change worth of driving. So I'm cool with that. There you go. If you look off to the left, now that Dragon pulled up, my man over here doing the lean with it, rock with it. So sad. So sad. Let's see. See if give it a couple more minutes, and then if not, we're gonna have to pull chocks and get to getting. So, uh, Dragon, you got the flight plan loaded in, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. How's the DIY gauge coming, or gauges, shall I say?
So when I didn't get the number that first board off the one board, I printed the other servos, and I just didn't go back to it. And I was like, you know what? I have a full screen of the monitor. Let me mess around with coding. So I got into JavaScript and yeah, I scrambled. That's my brain does. So I'm all over the place. Taking a break from physical printing.
I hear that. Yeah, I had to shift tracks on my attitude indicator, cause I was having issues with that one. I just couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to, and it was bothering me, and I started losing patience with it. So I ended up buying this LCD screen. It's like a 3-inch, or really like a 2.8, 2.9. So it's just right for about pretty much the same size as your normal gauge, and I just got the G5 running on it, so that way and because nobody makes the GI 275 yet, so I'm kind of using that in its place for now, and I love it. It works well and complements the GFC 500 that I end up 3D printing, and because my prop wash sim panel finally took a dump. The cable has always been a problem for anybody that you know that has a prop wash sim autopilot panel. They all gonna tell you that the plug-in for it, they don't solder it in, and after a while it gets so weak that it just breaks, and there's no resoldering, there's none of that. So, but I've had that panel for what 3 years pretty much. So I mean, I got my money's worth out of it, I guess. But the GFC 500, I like it. I ended up printing the buttons and the buttons and the rotary wheel. I printed them in transparent PLA, and then backlit the panel. So everything works.
I think I remember seeing a video where you were talking about that company and that device being an issue on the connector.
Yeah, it's just a connector, man. I mean, the panel is like, the build quality is amazing. Like the front panel, like the buttons, everything works as advertised. But that connector, man, like, why would y'all half on that? Like, you built this amazing product, but then you slack on that one little piece of solder. Like, that's crap.
Do they warranty it at all?
No. But I'm pretty sure if it's like, if you catch it early, like if you're having problems with it early, they might be able to, they might send you a replacement. But 3 years, they not about to warranty that. They about to be like, hey, that's a lost cause. You can buy a new one, which I'm not. I mean, but their products is for the, it's not real sim gear or one of these high end companies. Their stuff is very basic. It's nothing really fancy about it. It's really for the consumer that's trying to save $1 or don't have the money to buy the better, top dog stuff. But it gets the job done. Let's see here. Do we have somebody else loaded? It looked like somebody else is loaded in behind you, Dragon. I don't know if that's AI or...
I see somebody scooting up on me.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Nobody's in the Discord. Okay. Well, let me hit up.
I saw something posted in Discord the other day. It's channel 123.45 general chat inside of SayIntentions.
That's what's what I'm looking for. It's supposed to be like a. I was just talking with. I was Mad Monkey. I think I was talking with Mad Monkey about that the other yesterday. There was something special about that channel. I can't quite remember. Okay. All right. Oh, that's Bunny in the SR2. Okay, I got you. Can't hear the guy talking on Discord. All right, hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Let me get a sound check for you, Dragon.
Say that again.
All right, I got you. There you go. No, Glenn was saying he couldn't hear you, and that was because OBS had switched channels and wasn't picking up the Discord audio.
Do they want me to sing for a sound check? I can sing a song.
Oh no, I think we're good. I got.
You want some Pink Pony Club or something? I can bring it out.
Oh, speaking of singing, I forget. It was a while ago. Somebody had me singing up here.
Do it, man. Do it.
Well, let me see. Seth had me singing some Australian song. I sang that in one of the flights I did, and then somebody had me trying to sing something else. I can't remember though. Cardboard karaoke. Well, I don't have the SR22 in my thingy in my hangar, so
are you intentions tonight?
No, I'm not saying intention tonight.
It cut off in the beginning. Are yeah or no?
No, not tonight. Not on this flight.
Gotcha. Okay, I got it up running anyway.
Okay. I'll probably be doing that maybe either tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah. Run me. I want to at least get, at minimum at least one SayIntentions flight in a week. I'm trying to keep my ratings and my skill levels up. And I'm paying for it, so. Alright, I think we're gonna go ahead and pull chocks on this one. Cause it's starting to get late already, 10:30. We're about 15 minutes behind departure time. Alright.
Follow you on out whenever you're ready.
Sounds good. Take a sip real quick here. 10,000 per half hour. What? Well, we might as well go ahead and shut this engine on down then. Flight is canceled. Throw a red X in the forms and cancel the flight due to something breaking.
What broke?
No, Glenn was saying in the chat that it's $10,000 per half hour late. Well, we're still good.
That's because Glenn's usually flying like a Warthog or a C-130 or some ship.
Oh man. Alright, winds are that direction, so we are going to taxi down and take off runway 21 and then do a 180 out of here. Alright, brakes are released. Brake check, brakes are good. Does this have a... Wait a second. Where? Does this not have a taxiway? Hold on a second. Oh, it is. It's just across the street. Or across the thingy. So if I go straight here, but I'm not, hold on a second. I'm not seeing, is this, I'm gonna turn around here.
Looks like the direction we're facing is the way we're headed out too. So.
Yeah, but winds are, that puts us in a tailwind. I'm just trying to find the taxiway. We're gonna have to go across, and then the taxiway's on the other side of the runway. Get around this. Somebody come and save this plane. All right.
You know, tonight I loaded up the sim. The only thing I've been loading up the sim for is to have the plane running while I was working on my gauges, just to get some data out of SimConnect SDK, and everything is actually working. All my display boxes, my radios, my pedals, everything's working.
That's awesome.
I was so thankful. My Moza yoke still has not shipped yet. I am very furious with them.
Oh, that's been almost a month already, hasn't it?
March 24th. It's been over a month.
Oh, Jesus. What, are they backlogged?
Well, I'm a little bit aggravated. They sold it as a buy now, and it would ship in 10 to 15 days. And then they told me it was a pre-order in an email when I sent them an email and asked them for an update. However, they did give me $25 refund the first time, and then a month later when I complained, they gave me another $30 back.
So you saved 80 bucks?
That was good.
That's not bad. Almost a 10% savings on it.
Well, it brought my total order under $1,000. So, and the nice part about it is I have an R12 Moza direct drive base, and they use the exact same power connector. And for my quick connect that I'm building for the yoke, and then to swap in the R12 direct drive base, it's one less cable because it's the same power cord. And I really don't want to cancel my order and go for the CL60 or 120 because I want to stay in the Moza ecosystem, but they're making it really hard right now.
Yeah, that's bad business right there. Well, I mean, what's the turnaround for the CLS those? You know,
well, it would have been here by now had I made the decision to go with the CLS, but it is what it is. My only problem is, and I wouldn't have been upset at all if they gave me a proper expectation. That would have solved everything for me. If they said, hey, you know what, you got to wait 3 months, I'm like, all right, cool. I won't look every day to see is it shipped or not. But they won't. They refuse to change the 10 to 15 day on their website, and all their secondary resellers are saying, like, one site says June 20th is when they expect to get stock back.
Yeah, that's bad mojo right there.
Yeah, no bueno.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Gotta climb ourselves up out of here. Yeah, Glenn, she's annoying. Like, I see the terrain. I mean, I appreciate you having my back, but no, I muted her. Off with your mouth. I see you finally got off the ground there, Dragon.
I'm struggling.
Well, we're at 5,000 at the airport, so you have to pull some of that mixture out. Oh, well, of course.
I'm going down.
You going down? You didn't have enough power, did you?
RIP.
Oh, man. You want us to circle around?
That was terrible. My mix was all off.
Yeah. Well, if you want, I mean, the winds aren't that bad. I mean, you'll have a 3-knot tailwind if you want to take 2-1, or no, not 2-1. I'm sorry. Take 0-3 straight out. Save you some time. It's gorgeous out here.
I'm trying to get back up.
Yeah, just make sure you got that mixture set right on takeoff. So let's go. What are we at? 9. About to come up to 10. Let's say. Let's do about 12 for now. See how that goes. Thinking, but see, that's the crazy thing. It works and then it doesn't work. I need to create me a.
All right, I'm coming on up now.
All right, sounds good. So let's just go. Go heading mode here. And 117 is where we're gonna go to. Cramps, what's up? 12.5. 12.5 coming in there, bunny. We'll go V speed 5. About 400 for now. Let's go heading.
Apparently didn't have my fuel pump on either. I don't know if that matters.
No. Not. I wouldn't think so. How you doing, Cramps? I'm all off right here. So I'm thinking, and I think somebody had said something. Well, I think that depends on the aircraft, Crimson, because I know for this aircraft, fuel pump is off for landing and takeoff, or takeoff and landings. But I mean, the G36, it might require fuel pump to be on and off during takeoff, since it's, you know, the newer model, depending on how they built it. Y'all, I'm thinking, and I think somebody spoke about it. That's what's up. I'm thinking what's causing the issue of me not having touch screen or touch input is the overlay from Air Manager. And I'm thinking that's what's happening, because when I look, so this is how I do it now. I'll load in, once I get the flight loaded in, then I'll turn on my avionics. I'll get that loaded in, and when I get it loaded in, my touch function works fine. And then when I turn on overlay, or when I put the overlay on it to black the screens out, even though the black part is gone, there's still a clear, I think that there's a clear overlay, or a transparent. So I think that's what's causing me not to be able to have no touch function. Like, I can see, like, it's getting the touch input, but it's not actually working correctly. So yeah. So now, instead of it following nav, I'm having to track out with heading, which is fine. I think what I might end up doing is actually adding me a button here underneath the avionics master, where I can toggle in between the two. So that, but I'm still gonna have to fix that anyway, because when I'm running SayIntentions, I'm gonna have to have touch functions on that. Yeah, so you was talking about that, Glenn. I knew somebody was saying, I just remember who. So you're right, it's probably that. So I'm gonna have to figure something out about that. So it's technically yeah. Now, maybe what I could do, load in Air Manager first with the transparent screen, 15.5 coming in. Man, you smoking in that SR22. I could probably test out and see if I can load in Air Manager and then load avionics in on top of the transparent, and then put the overlay on top of that. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'll have to see. Tracking 116. Yeah, I ain't got no turbo. That's 113. I need 116. She's turning. Let's go 118. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something with that. Cause that's not cool. I did, however, after the stream last night, I went through and cleaned shop. I still got a lot of stuff I need to clean up, but I just started digging through and seeing a lot of background programs that I'm like, I don't even know why you're running. What's the purpose of this? So I disabled a lot of those. I uninstalled a lot of unnecessary programs that was, you know, you download stuff and you miss certain things and they end up downloading extra stuff. So I did a whole lot of deleting last night. She's doing a little better. I still think that there's still something else that's kind of acting weird, but for the most part she's doing good. So I'm gonna do some more testing. I'm actually gonna be probably working on a little bit of FS24 tonight after the stream. Right to 180. Start working on that one some more, so that hopefully we can get 24 off the ground here soon. 262. How you doing back there, Dragon?
Pretending like I know what I'm doing.
How far behind are you? Let's see if I can
I'm almost to the next, what is it? US.
The user waypoints.
US R04. I'm almost there. Over the lake.
504.
R04 it says. US R04.
Okay.
Turning now on the waypoint.
227. So you're not too far. You done went back down to
Trying to
30.
get some height. I'm only at 10,000. 10.5 right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to climb up a little bit, but I would climb easy, probably about, you know, 400 feet. I won't go no higher than 5 though, since we're so high. Now the G36 that you're flying, is that one turbo?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't climb out hard. You're going down to 11.5. Okay. Where are we tracking to 185?
I'm approaching 11,000 right now.
Okay. And 170. I must say it is nice out here. Trying to slow her down. Pull that prop out a little bit. That'll slow her down. Are you smoking? I still got you in my scope though, but you rolling for sure.
Where are we landed?
It's going to be. Give me 1 second. Let me look it back up here. 187.
Because I'm doing like a loop now, loop back.
Yeah, it's a weird flight plan. It's just kind of bringing you around. Let me look back at the thing here. Tracking 235.
I see you now. Okay, you're still. I thought y'all were going down. I still see you.
No, I'm just losing some altitude here. That's all. No, we still got a little bit. The SR-222 have a weird prop system combined throttle which has the prop and manifold pressure tied together, sort of like a FADEC but mechanical, so just one lever despite it having a constant speed prop. Oh, so it's kind of like a 248. What's the word I'm looking for?
I see Jack back there behind us too.
Oh, Jack done snuck up behind the back door?
I see him. He's a little bit back there, but yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for, Glenn? Like the TBM in a sense.
Starting to get some icing.
Yeah, it's -7 up here. 206 coming in. Yeah, a little bit. This is just a mechanical system where based on the lever position it changes the RPM manifold position. Okay, I got you. Let's get some prop heat. Cowl flaps are closed. Defrosts. Let's get that going. Let's speed up this descent because it's crazy. Fuel mixture and throttle. Yeah, that's crazy. Would that be easier to manage versus, you know? Well, you're talking turbo, so you gotta watch your temps too. Oh, these winds is making me sick. Okay. And tracking 243. And we're gonna continue down to about. Hey, once you get over those tops, you can kind of start bringing it down because I think it's about to run us through this valley here, Dragon.
What are you dropping to?
I'm going down to 8 right now.
8,000 hertz.
But both have the same RPM manifold thing. It's easier. Normally you just use defined positions for different stages of flight. As a pilot, you don't need
Looks
a
like we're
constant
leaving
speed
Greenland and headed
here in
into Iceland.
Australia. Oh, okay. Yep. It's amazing how the scenery just changes. U.S. has complex aircraft rating which covers constant speed units. Yeah, it's amazing how 220. Let's go left 220. How in different parts of the world, you know, how even though it's all under FAA, yet certain, you know, how certain countries, I guess, go about systems. You know, you got the same aircraft, but I guess how they, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess how they utilize the system, or you get what I'm trying to say. I guess you would think that since it's all under FAA, that it would all be the same across the board as far as like how, not so much training.
Yeah, like I think in the UK they call it a service.
Okay. Well, the international organization is ICAO.
I was watching VR Flight Sim guy the other day, and he was talking about like when he wanted to do touch and go.
Gotcha,
Glenn. Request service, which is for landing. Don't quote me on it, but it was. I know the word was service.
Oh, okay. Well, I know. Excuse me. I know. What's the word I'm looking for? Because Glenn talks about it all the time, like over in Australia, and the rules and regulations are totally different. Just as far as, you know, how things are ran, and phraseology and stuff like that. All right, I'm dropping it down to, I'm gonna go down to about 5. FAA adopts ACL rules for the most part. Some differences which they document, but there are certain standards that ICAO mandates, like 17-year-olds to get a PPL, for example, or instrument rating must come with night, etc. Member states usually takes ICAO rules, then just add extra ones on top. Australia follows ICAO phraseology. US deviates. Canada, interestingly, follows ICAO fully. So when you get over the border, you'll start saying 121.5 instead of 121.5. Ah, okay.
Not Canada anymore. It's called North America, by the way.
It's Canada. That's crazy. Just gonna indoctrinate a whole country as a 51st state. Come on now.
No, we're gonna circle them. We're gonna take Greenland and Alberta.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, at this point, every day I wake up, I'm almost gotten to the point where I don't even look at the news no more. I'm so over it.
Whatever, dude. That's a content president.
I mean, I ain't speaking on them. I'm just saying in general. Like, it's just, you know, things that have been fine as they are. Why change it? If it ain't broke, don't break it.
My whole thought the whole time has been, what does that do to the flag? Like, how do we add more stars, or how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how any of that worked. I mean, there's so many changes that's gonna be made. I mean, it definitely was easier on the news cycle without the current U.S. president. Or was he planning on that being a terrorist? You could jump on and roughly most things remain the same. I mean, yeah. I think it's kind of like how things were, you know, or is, shall I say? It's no need to. Why be so territorial? I mean, I understand. There's more to it behind it than just I just want to make a whole country the 51st state, you know. But I try to, you know, I try not to get too heavy into the politics, you know, because there are diehards out there.
I do like my grandfather. I don't discuss who I vote for.
Yeah, that never do that. When I lived in the States under Trump's first term, nothing really changed for the day-to-day stuff then, though. I've only really experienced living in the States under Obama and Trump. Well, I mean, you know, it with any presidency, you know, depending on what's going on, it takes a while for you. Like, changes can be made, you know, early on. Who is this in front? Bunny, is that you in front of me? Or yeah, that's Bunny. Bunny, what you doing? You know, changes can be made early in the early stages of the presidency.
Yeah,
But
Witty Bunny's up there with you.
yeah, he just kind of came out in front of me. He was above me, and then he just kind of dropped. But you know, you might not really start feeling the effects until, you know, it might take a year, or it might take a few months, or it might take 2 or 3 years before you start really, you know, seeing the changes. You know, for me, you know, I'll kind of keep up with current events just so I kind of be in the know, but I don't linger on it, man, because at the end of the day, what Capitol Hill does, there's really nothing that none of us can do about it. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion, and I stand on it. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. You just got to make sure that you're prepared for whatever changes that are coming. And that's just pretty much how I look at it at this point. Whether good or bad, you know. Yeah, it's, you know. To me, I just feel like it's really just become a joke, you know. It's just like, man, whatever. Do what you do, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's pretty much how that's kind of how I leave it. I don't, like I said, I don't really like to get too deep into it, but that's pretty much where I stand with everything. All right, tracking 241.
Witty looked like he's coming back up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bunny. Get that SR2, the SR22 under control.
He's flying like Glenn.
Tracking 241. Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be tracking. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down to about 3. Get down in here to this valley. What are your plans after Australia's invasion of the U.S. has happened and is successful? You must have.
Are you over the lake right now?
No, I'm not there yet. I'm coming up on it here in a little bit. 272. Slow her down. You must have evening barbecue in the summer, Christmas in July, and sensible health care.
Wait a minute. Who's invading who?
Nah, Glenn is talking in the chat. I mean, yeah, in the stream. Well, I look at it like this, Glenn. Evening barbecue in the summer, I'm cool with that. Christmas in July, yeah, whatever, you know. Sensible healthcare, I'm all for sensible healthcare. Shoot, anything other than what we got, cause Jesus, this is not healthcare.
All I have to say to Australia invading the U.S. is, oh no.
I mean, to see Australia invade the U.S., I think I would literally set up my lawn chair in my front yard with my grill and just watch the show. I don't even think I would, like, if something was really going down on my street, I would probably just sit out there and just watch it. Man, this scenery is nice out here. Like, once you get past the 2 hilltops right before you get to the lake, and it kind of breaks open off to the right. That's pretty. This is default scenery, Amir. Say that again, Dragon.
I'd like to go fishing here.
Oh yeah, man, I would love to come out here on a boat. Oh my gosh. And you know, this probably got some of the freshest fish. Like, this looks like a place where, like, I could probably drink that water and not get sick.
Yeah, there's no pollutants out here.
None. I bet you the air out here is so pure. Where are we at? This right here, where are we located? Give me 1 second, Amir. Let me get this sorted here. We're tracking 229. So I found this this flight plan on the world tour website, and let me pull it up real quick, because sometimes I just be grabbing stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool, let's fly that, and I don't honestly really be paying attention to where.
This would be challenging in a
So this is
in a bush plane.
This is a flight we took off from Switzerland, and coming in through the Alps, the Orobi Alps, and then Left 180. Get that bugged in. Let me see.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Oh, hush. Don't do that.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
Okay, alright. Can you stop what you're doing for a second?
Obstacle ahead.
We didn't just turn
Obstacle
around
ahead.
and cut back. Are we supposed to cut back and land?
I don't know what he doing.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
The
Pull
obstacle is
up.
not ahead.
Obstacle ahead.
I can't
Pull
see
up.
my route. Why are you
Obstacle
talking
ahead.
crazy?
Pull up.
Alright, let me.
Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
That obstacle is way over there.
Obstacle ahead.
Thank you. Hey, getting on my nerves. Trying to see where I'm at on the map here, according to the flight plan.
Are you aware that there's an obstacle ahead?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
So start from a mountain landscape, 3,500. You pass Bormio, I think is what you call it, and then descend towards the Po Valley, crossing the entire Valtellina. On the left, the Orbi Alps, and on the right, the Bernina Mountains. You fly over track 205. Get away from this stuff here. You fly over the entire Lecco Coma Lake and down into the plain. The ditch is after Whiskey Papa 21. A turn above Cremona, and you land on the small field, or you continue to Parma, viewing the cathedral, and then you land at Lima, India, Mike Papa. Yeah, so out here in Switzerland, pretty much is where we're at. Okay, let me slow you down a little bit. Yeah, this is tracking 147. She's starting to get real squirmy when I start getting a little too fast. So I had to slow her down a bit. But also right now it's about a 3-knot crosswind. Yeah, you're saying VA, and now that you say that, let me bring her down. Well, that's the cool thing about the G5, because it gives you those, those references, whereas in the steam gauge you just kind of gotta.
Up to you guys.
Say that again.
I'm catching up to you guys.
Yeah, I had to slow down a little bit, and see, now she's smoothed out. That's why I like Glenn. Glenn teaches me every day. I'm learning stuff by the day. Appreciate that, Glenn. So that sets me at about 128, 129 knots, which is giving me 136 on the ground. VA is the maximum speed where you can have the turbulence do full deflection on your controls without damaging your control surfaces. So how do you figure those numbers or is that, I mean, unless that's actually something that's automatic, like you just know those numbers. But won't those numbers change according to, you know, weather and stuff like that, or is it all still the same?
Ahead. Obstacle ahead.
There we go, right there.
Obstacle ahead.
All right, all right. Glenn and Jack, they both. I just didn't know if those numbers change, you know. All right, I'm gonna read my manual. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna download the POH. I thought I did that already though. I'm gonna have to go back and see. Read through some of this stuff here. Sometimes it can be based on weight, but the nice thing about indicated is it handles difference in pressure. Okay. Indicator is not really speed, it's just what the aircraft think is doing based on the current pressure, etc. Right, so that's why once you get like in airliners, for the most part airliners, once you get below 10,000, you have to indicate no more than 250 knots. That gives everybody a base, I guess you can say. If I understand that correctly. Now I don't know if that's around the world, but I know in the States, once you get below 10,000, it's supposed to reduce speed to 250. 193. I'm not about to do 193 right this second. I'll do 193 once I get around this bend here. Yeah, something like that. 250 knots below 10,000 here. Some Class C airports 200. Gotta make sure I don't swing into this mountain here.
Terrain ahead.
Yeah,
Terrain
I know.
ahead.
I see it. I see it. Hush now. You want me going on that side or on this side? Oh, I should have turned there. That's all right though. That's pretty nice out there. And then we'll track 135. A lot of instrument approaches also have max speed prescribed, but that's also airline or aircraft specific, I would assume. Hey, I see Bunny off there to my left, hanging low a little bit. We're tracking to 157 now. It's more for traffic flow than any limitations of the airplane. The ICAO has 4 categories of aircraft: GA, D being 380s, C's most airliners. Gotcha. I gotcha. I'm tracking now. Cause I remember I watched this one video where I guess the guy was coming in on a GA, and I guess there was an airliner coming in. The GA had already got clearance for landing, but the airliner was coming in, you know, way faster, and the tower was like, you're doing like 90 knots, on approach. There's no way you can speed it up, and because there's a guy that's doing like 180 knots behind you, and he's like, there ain't really much else I can do. I'm in a GA. Most planes can hit their max indicated at 1,000 feet. Woo! Tower approach departures can say cancel speed restrictions, which gets rid of the 250 knot restriction. Up there's Jack up above doing his thing. Does the SR-22 not have retractable gear? I would assume. Why is your gear down, bunny? If there's no traffic in front of you, then they likely will. So, how would that work in a situation then where you're already cleared final, but Tower decided to bring in an airliner that's, you know, let's say they're on a 10, maybe 5-10 mile final behind you, or a 20 mile final, and you're still out, you know, 5 miles. Do they tell you to abort your landing so that the airliner can land, or, you know what I'm saying? No Sirius has okay. Get out the way. Okay. So you would actually, they would have you cancel your landing clearance and just go around in a GA. Yep, you're too slow. Go away. But you cleared me. Sometimes can. Normally you just take priority. I've made a C-17 have their approach be canceled. Oh wow. Well, I'll be honest. Most C-17 guys are cool anyway. I don't think I never ran into any crew or any pilot from a C-17 that was, well, now, pilot-wise, cool. But, you know, in the maintenance world, we all got beef with each other. It just, you know, that's just the name of the game. I've had a few rounds with some other crew chiefs from other airframes. But it's all love, though. We all do the same thing. I just make fun of C-17 guys because most of their work is out of a computer. They don't know real maintenance. Them or fighter crew chiefs. Those are the worst. They think they're the best. I bet you if that computer shut down, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. But B1 guys like myself, C-130 guys, don't need none of that. We are real maintainers. So can they call you? So, okay, let me ask this question then. So when you're on approach, let's say you're short final, you're a mile out. When is the point of no return for ATC to say, hey, cancel landing, you know, go around or whatever? Like when do they can't just be like, go around? It's just like, all right, well, he's already about to land, so we just go ahead and let him land. And have the other guy do a go around. What happens if the cargo door sticks and won't come down? You don't have a PC to diagnose. You're screwed. Probably when you're touching down, probably 2-3 miles. Okay. 173. But we'll do a 176 bearing. What happens if the cargo door sticks and won't come down? I mean, if the cargo door won't come down, that ain't got nothing to do with landing or flying. The only way that would be a problem is if you're on a mission where the cargo door needs to come open, and on a 130, I'm pretty sure every other cargo has a manual lever. So if for some odd reason the motor fries or the switch goes bad, get the turning. Yeah, that is cool, Jack. Y'all see the rain shafts coming down all around. That's pretty cool. If in a situation where the ramp and door had to come open and it won't open by the switch alone, then I'm grabbing the handle and we're turning until it comes open. That's how we would handle that. Now, if it's just a situation where, you know, we wanted to open the ramp and door, but there was no really need for it, then, you know, we just keep it closed. And then, you know, we'll just write up in the forums when we land, you know, ramp and door stuck closed. And then I'll be done with my flight for the day, because I did my part. I'm going home. And I'll let all the crew chiefs that's on that shift when we land, they have to deal with that problem. But in the real world mission, if we had to open it, like I said, it'll be a manual open. Now, if it won't open manually, then there's a bigger problem. Because those rampant doors is, well, they're hydromechanical in a sense. So I would have to disable the hydro system, or yeah, pretty much disconnect the hydro side so that it could be mechanically ran. Well, it's a yes, and it all depends on the mission, Glenn. If it's a mission where, you know, we can hold off until I can assess the situation, then, you know, we'll abort that mission and then we'll head back to wherever we're at, and I'll stay up until it's fixed. But if it's a mission that it's got to get done today, it's got to get done now, then we'll have to circle around until I can get it open. But at that point, you know, off the record, hey, by any means necessary, you ain't got time to be worrying about following a TO by the book. Get this thing open. We get whatever we need to get off this plane, get these doors closed, and then we'll figure it out once we land. I mean, you can abort the mission. Like I said, it just depends on the mission at the time. You're defending against the Australian invaders with their barbecue? Oh. Man, if that's the case, if that's the case, then depending on how big a cargo that needs to come off, we'll just open up the side doors and throw the mess out the side of the doors. But you know what's crazy is, you know, for the most part, out of the 4 years when I flew with the 130, well, and especially the J models, because you know they were brand new. Like when I got to Germany in 2009, we was just getting, we only had like I think 2 or 3 J models on the flight line. We was because at the time Ramstein only they had all E and H model 130s, so they was getting rid of those to swap them all out, and we ended up getting like I think it was 14 J models. When I became a flying crew chief, I became a flying crew chief right around the time we was about to get the last handful of, or the last 2 of them. So I actually flew back stateside to Georgia, and I picked my bird up straight from the plant, straight from Lockheed. I did my whole inspection, made sure all of my equipment was there, checked everything, pre-flight, you know, all that good stuff. And once everything checked good, I flew home with my bird. That was the first, you know, official flight, I guess you can say, with her. So 8613, that was my baby for 4 years. And you know, the 130, man, like the way it's built, it doesn't really break. Not the new ones. I mean, when they do break, it's you know, basic stuff like you blow a few pucks off of a brake, so you got to get the brake replaced. You know, you might every once in a while you might have a engine issue here and there. Like now, one thing that was a common failure on the new J models were the prop, I forget the name of these things, but it was for the prop heat, or the prop de-ice. And how Lockheed, I'm pretty sure they revised the system so that it's better now, but there were these behind the cone of the propeller. So how it gets its signal to heat up, there's like 6 of these little yellow, they almost like a fuse in a sense, but they're long, and they almost kind of look like a wrench, like a funny wrench shape with bends and stuff. Well, what happens is what the TO called for as far as the torque specs on those bolts was too tight. And then, you know, you take that with tension constantly, and what happens is they were breaking. So what they was having us do then is they put in for a supplemental change so that we can use a less torque spec. And of course, you know, they went through and verified everything before they cleared it. And then after we did that, we would have to put a sealant, but I can't even think of the sealant. This stuff was stinky and nasty, but we would seal it. It almost looked like JB Weld, but it's not weld. It was just a solid sealant. And then we put that on, but even after some time, like, it prolonged the break, but even after a while, they would still break. And I remember one time we was coming back stateside, and we was coming through Greenland, I think, and this was like dead winter. And man, I stepped off the plane. First of all, I mean, I lived in South Dakota for 6 years, so I understand cold, but it was something about up there. I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid. And then you wanted to brake here. Like, now's not the time to not be able to have prop de-ice. But I mean, we was empty, and the pilot, my AC was like, we're not staying here. Like, I don't care if that doesn't work. We're not. If I have to shut down, I want to say it was the number 3 anyway. He said if I got to shut down the number 3, then I'm just gonna shut down number 3, and we'll just fly with 3 props until we get over to the States. But luckily we didn't have to shut it down, and it held out long enough, and we was able to get out of those temperatures fairly quickly without any icing, shall I say. So I mean, that was a break. I had a brake go bad on me when we was in Africa. We was doing our long round. We do like 4 or 5 countries that day, and we was coming back through Kenya, and we landed to clear customs. And when I stepped out, the left rear main was hydro fluid all over the place. So that was cool, you know. Broke down for 3 days in Kenya. So sad for us. No, we stayed at a 5-star beach resort for 3 days, waiting for my parts to come in and my tools so I could change my brake out. Do you take the parts with you, or do you need them shipped? No. So, well, for the most part, like when we did our Africa runs, we normally didn't have to ship anything because we had, you know, we had parts on the ground, you know, where we was at over in Africa. But in a situation where, you know, we're out in no man's land or whatever, and we, you know, we're shut down, like we're code 3 or code Charlie or whatever you want to call it, Alpha 3, I think that's what we called it. No, then it's just a matter of, you know, calling back home side and saying, hey, I'm broke down here for this reason. And then they shoot the message out, and then they start putting a team together. They start getting a flight together. And whoever's coming, it'll be a crew chief, another crew chief. They'll fly him out on whatever, depending on how bad the situation is. Like when I broke down in Kenya, they flew him. He ended up flying in style. They brought him out on a I think it was a G5 or a G6, with a new brake and all the tools needed to fix it. And then when he showed up, we went out there, we changed the brake, checked everything, we good, and that was it. We loaded up the tools on the plane, and then he hung out with us until it was time to go home. So, you know, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. I mean, for the most part, when we break, you know, and especially in the Air Force side of things, man, all right, it's like we break, all right, cool, let's go hang out. Let's go see what this city is all about, you know. But then there's some times where we've broken down in places, and it's like, bruh, whatever you got to do, but we got to get out of here now, you know. So it's not always peaches and cream. Sometimes you got to do things that, you know, is not by the book, but you do what you got to do to get you and your crew and your bird out of there safely, and at least get to a safer location, and then, you know, we reassess and figure out what we can do. I've had some situations like that before. Alright, plane. Enjoyed your company this evening. I appreciate you, man, as always. You have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one, my man. Will do. Turning right to 136. It looks very, very nice out here. I don't think I will live out here, but it looks very, very nice. Like, has anybody ever thought about, like, there's a lot of places in the world that don't have natural disasters like we do in the States? Going to 087. Sounds good, Glenn. Enjoyed ya. I appreciate the tips as always. You have a good one, man. We'll catch you on the next one. How you holding back there, Dragon? Kind of quiet. Did we lose Dragon? No? Dragon, you still up there with us?
I'm here, 1 second.
Oh, okay. And we'll be making our turn here to 174 in about 5 seconds. And now 174 coming in. And look like we coming to an end, so I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing this on down to about step it down to about 15. And I'm gonna do about a 200 feet a minute, 300 feet a minute. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. So, let's see. We are just hold altitude right now. Yo, assess. How's it going? The legend himself. Alright, autopilot is coming off. Oh. I'm looking for this guy. Where is he? Not. So where are we going to? Hold on. I'm confused now. Am I missing a waypoint in mine all of a sudden?
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
They had tryouts for a higher level league tonight, and since we won the championship, they're trying to recruit some of my girls now.
Oh, okay.
Are we coming down to landing?
Yeah, but I'm missing a waypoint, which I think is the one that we supposed to be landing at. But it's not. It didn't load into my.
Straight ahead of me.
Is it Lima, India, Lima, Romeo? Hold on, let me go back to the thing.
USR 50 looks like right in front of me, I think. Maybe I don't have it either.
Yeah, I'm missing it here. L-I.
It's not a grass strip, is it?
L-I.
Hey, there's Jack.
ZC. L-I-Z-C.
I'm right over top of the last waypoint I have.
Yeah, that's where I was. My last one was 546, and it just fell off.
There's a grass. Is that a grass strip to our left, or is that just fresh cut grass?
I'm looking for. Where did they land at? Cause I saw both of them going down. What am I missing?
Jack's still circling. We're circling turning to the north.
I see LIMS, LIMP. I don't see the LIZS. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'll make an executive. Well, let's go over to Lima, India, Mike, Papa.
I'm getting a caution, and my engine has stalled and turned off.
Did you forget to switch tanks? You done ran out of fuel? I'm gonna load some fuel in real quick.
I'm dead.
You didn't came all the way?
R.I.P.
What you do, run out of fuel?
Yep.
Oh, man. Did you run out of fuel or you just forgot to switch tanks?
I forgot to put.
Oh, man.
Life be life.
It be like that, man. Well, I will let the family know that you went down in honor. and a smile on your face.
Tell him I almost made it.
He almost made it. All right, I am headed to Lima, India, Mike, Papa, and I'll be landing runway. I'll land runway 20, so then we can just taxi off to the FBO. See if I can find a field here. It's off my 1 o'clock. I didn't make this flight plan, so just letting y'all know that. I just said download it. My waypoint ended at 546, so all right. Is that the field over there? I think I see it. Oh man. It's lovely out here in Switzerland, I must say. I'm a LIMP. Sending out the fire trucks, we would say, alright, hey, Dragon, Sess is sending the fire trucks.
Send a parachute or something.
Did you at least try to land it somewhere in the field?
No, I was trying to because I'm on monitors. I was trying to find the fuel switch, and as I was looking down, I just nosed it straight down to the ground.
Oh man. So you never oh, that's right, you're flying a Bonanza because you normally fly the Baron.
Yeah.
So I was about to say,
I didn't know where it was.
Cause I thought you did you ever figure out what to do with your fuel selector for the Baron?
Well, I figured out where it was, but I didn't make a switch for it yet. No.
Oh, okay.
Is LIMA the where y'all are landing?
LIMP.
LIMP.
Krim said use the flare so we can spot you.
My airplane's on fire. I don't need a flare.
Oh man. All right. I am.
Look for the hole in the ground.
Yeah. Cause everything seems pretty good out here, so that's about the only smoke I see, or I would see out here. All right, I am turning final for 20. Start slowing her up a little bit.
I'm kind of mad about that. I was most excited about the landing.
You was almost there. All right, speed checks gear is coming down. I think that's the most favorite part I like about having these butt kickers is feeling the landing gear come down. It's so real. Hey y'all, don't worry about it. Dragon is safe and sound at the airport. We're going to meet him once I land. First notch of flaps is in. Gear is down and locked. Flaps is set for approach. All lights are on. Prop and that cow flaps are coming open. Keep my eyes on the prize so I don't go down as well. Second notch of flaps coming in.
500.
Wow, the scenery is loading in weird because I think that's a what do you call it, map enhancement situation.
Look out your left window.
Yeah, I see you. That's what I was talking about.
I'm coming back, baby.
I was like, he made it. All right.
I'm gonna land. It's gonna happen.
One way or another, I didn't come this far for nothing. All right, short final, gears down, flaps down, all that good stuff is good.
It was funny because my wife came out here to give me the phone, and she hasn't seen my sim in a while, and she was like, "What is all of this?"
Act like you didn't see nothing.
So no, I made all this. Don't worry about it. It's all good. She said, I don't care. It just seems like a bit much. That was her word.
Oh, not even close to being a bit much. Not even scratching the surface yet.
That's right.
All right, I am clear the runway. Landing lights and strobes are coming off. Flaps are coming up. And they look like they got that settled down, so we'll taxi over here. Are you waiting for me, dude? Do I finally get a marshal? No, I'm not gonna get a marshal. Why don't I get a marshaller no more? I used to get marshalers. Does anybody else have that issue? You know how when you would land, a marshaller would be standing there with the wands ready to attack, you know, marshal you in? I haven't seen that happen to me in a while. I'll come taxi over here. All right, brakes are set. Here comes Jack. Jack is down. That wasn't a bad flight. I actually enjoyed that one. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I don't know, Amir, if you're still hanging in there with me. I'm gonna get that video out to you. Give me about another day or two. I might try to work on it tonight if you're still up and running. Well, actually, give me a day or two because I'm having some conflict. It might not be a
I
problem.
need you to edit that stream. I made it.
I see you. I had the camera set to that side, so it caught you landing.
Nice.
Where is Bunny coming? Where's Bunny? Bunny, where art thou? Man, Jack always keeps that bird looking clean. So you wash it every night, or you got somebody to wash your bird every night after you shut down, Jack? That thing is always glistening. I really like that color combo. That orange is beautiful. Here comes Dragon in the purple bonanza. Waxed and everything. Oh, I could definitely tell the wax was put on it, because that thing, when the sun hit it, you can actually see like the reflection just sparkle off of it. Alright, well, while this is going down, there he is. Trying to slow that SR-22 down. That is too funny. Bunny was coming in at airliner speeds. I don't know how well the stream picked that up, but I saw that very clearly. With a high-speed taxi. You can't even taxi slow. Alright. After landing checks, cow flaps are open, flaps are up, transponder, I can't do nothing with it. It's been on standby the whole time. Avionics is coming off.
Witty Bunny, you need to loop around and back it up.
And mixture is to idle. Magnetos off. Battery and alternator off. And fuel tank off. And that is it, my peoples. I enjoyed this flight. I like this flight. This was the chill flight. A little bit of everything. A little bit of mountainous terrain. A little bit of altitude. A little bit of low, chilling. A little yanking and banking. And cruising on out to the end. Well, that's all I got. Jack, it was an honor as always. Dragon, good to see you back. Bunny, you always funny. Enjoyed the flight with you tonight. Much love, Crimps. Enjoyed your company tonight. Sass, if you still in the building, thank you, sir. I know Glenn already rolled out. Who else was in here? Like I said, I don't know if Amir is still in. If not, have a good one, Amir. Enjoyed your company tonight. And who knows what tomorrow holds? We will find out. So that's all I got. I'm gonna shut it down and grab me a bite to eat. And then I'm gonna get into something tonight. Well, for starters, I gotta figure out how to fix the overlay issue, because that's what's causing my problem. Because I guarantee you, if I turn the thingy off, I bet you I'll be able to have some touch functions. I'm gonna test this with y'all right here real quick, just to see if that's the case. Then I gotta figure something out. So if I come here, right, and I turn you off, look at there. Yep. So that's the problem. So I gotta figure out how to fix that overlay situation. So once I get that done, I'll be able to do that video on how to make all this work correctly. So that's my plans for the night. That's it, y'all. I enjoyed y'all again. Much love and respect as always. Good night to all, and to all a good night. Cardboard Sim. And we are signing out.